Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Nashville, Tennessee again, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Ryan Long with Compass, for making this tour possible. I'll be sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, starting on the exterior, family, the first thing that certainly is apparent is that we have that mid-century modern design. In fact, this is the first time we've seen this particular style on this channel, and I'm so excited to bring to you this one. Now, the materials on the exterior, you see that we have the natural stone along with the painted brick. You have these massive picture windows, so an abundance of natural light enters inside of this home, and you're situated on just under an acre, so you have plenty of space in the front yard as well as the back, and we'll see that a little bit later on in the tour. Now, you have a ton of driveway available as well. Now, as far as the location is concerned, you are 5 minutes north of Brentwood and only about 15 minutes away from downtown Nashville. So if you need to be in close proximity to a major freeway or really need to get in town for whatever particular reason, business reasons or personal, you certainly have that ability with this property. Now, you have this covered front porch, as you can see, extremely massive, and you see that you have the wood soffit on the exterior, so a nice additional touch. Then you have these gorgeous pendant lights hanging down along with the candlelight lanterns. Now, before we head inside of here, you see that we have a custom wooden door, and everything inside of this property certainly was intentional and well thought out. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Okay. Look at this. So immediately whenever you walk into the foyer, this is exactly what you're greeted with. I'll turn you around so you can see the front door from the inside. And then look at this. You have the gorgeous brass sconce and the wooden accent wall. So adding some more character, really matching the front door. And then heading into your formal dining. Look at this. Love what I'm seeing. So you have an 8-seater dining room table, as you can see, and plenty of walk room to work with. And then of course you have your picture windows, bringing in some more natural light. So, and you know, we talk about that quite often. If it's something where you do need some privacy, you can always add the shades or the blinds and you won't have to worry. But with this being a new construction property, you just want the abundance of natural light to enter inside of this beautiful home. Now, I love how spacious this looks, and then you can see this gorgeous chandelier right above our dining room table. Then heading this way, you still have this buffer between the foyer and the great room. We'll see that in just a second. What I want to do is turn you this way and we'll head to our first bedroom. Before we do that, we have a coat closet right over here. And then you head right over here to look at how grand this looks. Oh, wow. So I'll pan you upwards so you see that slope design inside of here, but you have the clear story windows and then of course the additional picture windows right there. So a ton of light to work with. Now this is going to be your first bedroom, so a perfect guest suite. As you can see, they have it staged as an office, so that'll just give you an idea of what you could do. But you will have 2 bedrooms down, the additional 3 up, and then you have a bonus room and a flex space, and we'll see that too. So this one is en-suited. You have the hexagon tile and then the beautiful walk-in shower, as you can see. So you got the chrome shower valve, shower head, a massive shower niche right there as well. And then here, as look at this. So you're gonna have the stained oak cabinetry, and that's custom, and you're going to see that inside of the kitchen, so keep that in mind as well. But you have chrome hardware in here, and of course our walk-in closet, so generously spaced. As you can see, you have white oak floors throughout the home. Love that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. Before we head inside of here, I do apologize, I want to make sure that we see every single room possible. So this is your powder bath. Look at this. So you have this gorgeous floating vanity, beautiful wallpaper. That's going to be on all 4 sides, as you can see. And then you have your gold towel ring Gorgeous sconce. You'll notice the mirror extends all the way to the ceiling as well. Okay, so now let's go ahead and head into the great room. Look at this. So you have 12-foot ceilings inside of here and the kitchen. You have that partition wall, so separating the great room, open dining area to the kitchen. And then look at that. So you have 8-foot sliders inside of here. And if you didn't want to use the sliders, you have that quick access door leading you to your screened in porch, floor to ceiling, natural stone for our fireplace around, and then the arc of stone as well. So a nice combination, complements one another. And then I'll stand on this side so you can see the full scope of this room. So I love how much space you get inside of here. Now, if you didn't want to use that formal dining room, which a lot of folks don't, right? Unless it's a special occasion, then you have your open dining area where you're going to spend 98% of the time with the entire family. I could be wrong. And if I am, let me know in the comments. Now heading over here, look at this. So that stained oak cabinetry continues in here. You have that paneled refrigerator and freezer, Thermador appliances. You have your bar area over here. And then you will notice another bar between here and the dining. But you have a massive island. Look at your breakfast bar, waterfall countertops, gorgeous backsplash. You just need a pot filler, but of course that may not be a big deal to you. And then that stained oak continues over here. So plenty of prep space as far as on the island is, which is concerned. And then of course you have your picture window straight ahead over there. So before we continue, let's go ahead and take a look. We have our trash drawer right over here. All that soft close-in mechanism, even your paneled dishwasher is Thermador. You have a Scullery right around the corner. But as always, let's go ahead and make sure we see inside of some of these cabinets as well. I love our massive oversized range. You have plenty of drawer space inside of here. That's a 6-burner with your griddle. And then you have this sleek range hood right here with that same stained oak material. So I love that all of our appliances are Thermador, as you can see. You have plenty of space inside of there to hide that Diet Coke and store that Sprite or Powerade, depending on your personal preference, right? And then you can have your spices right over here. And now headed this way, look at this. So this is almost like its own separate room as far as your drop zone is concerned, or mudroom if you like to call it. You have this wallpaper on the top exterior. Then you have the shiplap, and that's going to be on all 3 sides. Got these custom racks, right, or hooks rather, wooden hooks. You got cubby space right underneath there, cubby space on the top, and then right behind me is your utility room. But look how massive this looks right here. Wow, you talk about the amount of counter space that you have in here. Very impressive. So in here you have that almost like that ripe olive color. You got stacked cabinetry again. You got your chrome hardware that complements it. Quartz countertops, your sink inside of your counters, overlooking that peace and tranquility. Look, we just saw a nice little birdie right there. You have a nice visitor. And then you have a ton of space for an oversized washer and dryer. So this is a wonderful laundry room. They did a fantastic job. You even have some additional storage right over here. And then this gorgeous modern light fixture. Now, of course, if you haven't guessed, this is your garage. So this is going to be a 2-car, but you still have a decent amount of space to work with in here. So I love that we have that. And then you have that privacy glass as well. And it looked really good from the outside of the home too. Of course, at nighttime, it looks even better. Now, before we continue, let's go ahead and take a look at our scullery. So we have an additional sink right here, stainless steel. And then in here you have your stainless steel microwave, built-in stacked cabinetry. You have that same color that we just seen inside of the laundry room. You have an additional trash drawer and dishwasher. That one's starting the door as well. And then you got your space for your refrigerator, some additional counters, and then some more shelving all the way to the ceiling. So if you haven't let me know, please, I encourage you to let me know in the comments below how you're liking this home. Hopefully you like the exterior of the home, and if not, you certainly will love the inside, I hope. So in here you have that Calicotta marble, as you can see. You have some additional cabinetry. This one's painted that lighter sage green, so that'll just give you a reference. And this one was designed by P. Shea. So if you know anything about them, they do a fantastic job of interior designer, or designing rather, inside of the Nashville area. So if you haven't, I encourage you to check them out. You can maybe Google them or look on Instagram and see their design. And I wanted you to see that firebox. You got that herringbone pattern as well. Now, if you haven't guessed, this will be leading you to your primary suite right over here to the left. Don't worry, this is not, not the primary suite. You got your closet right over there. So you can store as much as you need. Now, heading this way, look at this. Beautiful picture windows. You cannot tell me that's not a great view. Beautiful. So of course you got your candle chandelier right above your king size bed. Look at this view right here. Wow. Peace, serenity, the mature trees, just a fantastic job of creating that private element. Now in here you will have the 15-foot ceilings, as you can see, so really airy, extremely spacious, almost like that sanctuary. And then what's fascinating about this, and I don't have the dimensions, I'll put them on the screen for you, but that's a king size bed, your 2 nightstands, and look at how much room you still have. So if you wanted to get a custom bed, maybe a 10-foot bed or something like that, you will have no challenges whatsoever fitting that inside of here. Okay. So heading inside of our primary bath, look at this, family. So you have that custom cabinetry here, that reeded design. As you can see, I'll do a close-up for you. The beautiful white cabinetry, or countertops rather. You got your modern sconces on both sides, an additional picture window, massive freestanding soaker tub right over there. And if that isn't enough, look how much room you have inside of this shower. So this one's gonna have that 0 threshold as well. You got your massive shower niche right above here. Look at that. Your 2 rain shower heads, dual shower heads as well. So much space to work with. Now I can already tell what you're thinking. We don't have a shower bench inside of here, but goodness gracious, everything else is on point. Now you will have or at least a massive closet. Walk in, we'll see that in a second. You got your water closet over there to the left. So you don't have the his and hers. However, look how much room you still have inside of here. I don't have the paint on this one. And trust me, before I start these tours, I always try my best to get you the paint, at least the name of it, for your own personal reference. And if I'm not 100% sure, I really don't like to mention it, because I don't want to throw you off and then you design your own home and you think it's this color and it's not, and I don't want to be held accountable for that. So anyway, you have a ton of built-ins available right here. You see the racks on both sides, your built-in drawers. You got your full body mirror here, plus more. So if you're 7'1", you have no challenges seeing your entire body. And then all 4 walls are painted, even the ceiling. Before we continue, got your towel closet right there. Okay. So like I said, and the cool thing is, there's, for this particular house, about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and you're at a major freeway. But whenever you're outside, you don't hear that noise. It doesn't feel, extremely noisy, right? Whenever you are here, and if you are looking for a home, I encourage you to, look into this home, even drive by and really see for yourself. But it's extremely peaceful. Neighbors are extremely friendly as well. So that's always a plus. All right, before we continue, I just want you to see this. Look at this area right here. Wow. So you got a nice like staircase landing, and take advantage of that if you want to use that as a reading area. I don't know, something like that. Then heading here, you see you got your additional recessed area with your wooden accent wall. Now heading this way, before we continue, look at this, your second utility room. The same color up here, plenty of space. Sometimes when we go up here for the second utility room, it might be just a closet or something like that. You really don't have a lot of walk room, or it might be, perfect for a stackable. But in this instance, you even have some additional cabinetry, drawers, and counter space to work with. So that certainly is a plus. Now heading up here, perfect game room, club room, you name it. The possibilities are endless. The space that you have in here is wonderful. You got your built-ins right there. Look at that. You got like a built-in bench as well. So if you wanted to work with that, you can do that. You have an additional outlet. So if you wanted to put that 75-inch TV right there, you have no challenge. You won't have any challenges. The white oak floors extends this away. So this could be a game room. You have an additional bonus room, and this is not the bonus room that I talked about previously. And heading this way, this is your flex room, or a nice little flex space. So if you were to use that room as a game room, this would be a perfect place for the kiddos. You have access right there to your attic. And then, of course, if you work from home, if there's more than one person in the household that works from home, you can have this as an additional study. And then, of course, you can see that's your attic. You will have your second powder bath up here as well. So if you are entertaining, your guests don't need to walk too far to use the restroom. You see that Calicotta marble continues up here. That painted cabinetry. And then that modern sconce as well. And then you do have your beverage fridge as well as the sink. Okay, so let's head down here a couple steps. Now look at this. You have vaulted ceilings in here, and this all just kind of makes sense when you take a look at the exterior, right? So you have that point, and then what better way to have that painted beam, beautiful chandelier, and your clear story windows. You have some additional shelving right over there, as you can see. And then you got some additional storage right over here. And then those beautiful French doors leading you inside of this area. So you could use this as an additional room if you wanted to, but I would call it a bonus room. Now let's go ahead and pan you this way. This will be our next bedroom. So again, your picture windows here, these are pillow windows. All of these are, so high-end windows. You don't have to worry about that. A queen bedroom set would fit extremely perfect in here. So you see you got your walk-in closet, very generously spaced. You already have your racks, as well as your built-in shelving for your shoes. And look, you even still get incredible views right over here. Now heading inside of our ensuite shower tub combo in here, the chrome sconces, and then the gold mirror frame right there, quartz countertops. Beautiful. And then again, some more views. And I'm telling you, seeing these homes out here in Nashville, having the perspective of being in a lot of homes out in Texas and Florida, and I'm sure you folks can agree with me, I don't think anyone's coming close to Nashville homes. I could be wrong. Let me know if there's another state that you think is in a close running to Nashville. The only one that I can think of course, besides Texas, would probably be Utah. I've seen some amazing homes out there, and then let me know if there's any other states that you'd like to see. In fact, we will be in Utah in the next coming months, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll stop by Texas before we head that way, because why not, right? To get you a little bit more catch up on our Texas homes and go from there. But nice deep walk-in closet right over there. Ensuite again. This one's gonna have that shower tub combo, the chrome shower head. Look at that. And then you have that circle mirror with that chrome sconce. So in here you could fit a queen bedroom set without any issues whatsoever. And as you'll notice, remember from the exterior, you have the slope on both sides. So you will notice that the ceiling height in here a little bit lower, probably on the lower end, gosh, maybe 6.5 feet, give or take. And then over there, you can see it increases a little bit more. But an interesting design. Your walk-in closet as well as your bathroom, your full bathroom will be on this side. So each one, very spacious. And then this one have the shower tub combo, as you can see. I typically like to see, with some of these secondary bedrooms, at least have one or two walk-in showers, but I know other folks would certainly disagree. It really wouldn't matter to them too much. Okay, so we about seen almost everything. So that was the 3 bedrooms that we get on this side. Again, for just a recap, you have your game room area right over here, flex space straight ahead, your additional powder bath, and then right over here you have a bonus room that you could make an additional bedroom if you wanted to. Your utility room straight over here, and that was the entire second level. So again, just under 6,000 square feet at 5,961. And that's of interior square footage. That doesn't count, anything that isn't heated, like the garage or the patios. But it feels extremely roomy and spacious. So let's go ahead and head back here and see what we're working with. So now, looking at our screened-in porch, you see that painted brick continues here. That even continues where our fireplace surround is. So real discreet, minimal feel. And then look at that. And then I should mention too, the fireplaces are gas burning and wood burning. So either or, depending on your personal preference. But I love the screened-in area, so you don't have to worry about any insects whatsoever. You open up these sliders here, and you have plenty of space for the indoor, outdoor living. And then look at this, you have 2 access doors. So if you wanted to head to a nice little patio right here, still have some sun, you can put some patio equipment out here. I can appreciate that they have this elevated area right here. So if you do have little ones, they can play right there, maybe put a sandbox, you can add a pool down there, anything of that nature. You have plenty of space to work with. And then even out here, you can add some additional patio equipment. And look at the view. You got your staircase right here. Everything I showed you is completely, it's what you see is what you get, right? Now, aside from the furniture, which is certainly negotiable, I'm sure they will have a conversation with it. They wouldn't be opposed to it. So I encourage you to certainly reach out if that's something that you're interested in. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, please let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.